Have you ever wondered how much of an impact your daily habits have on the quality of your life? We often underestimate the power of these seemingly inconsequential routines, but they are far from insignificant. Our habits, whether we realize it or not, are the building blocks of our daily experiences. They shape our health, productivity, and overall happiness. Think about it, even minor habits like drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning or taking a few minutes to meditate before bed can have profound effects on our well-being over time. Conversely, negative habits, such as procrastinating or consuming junk food, can hinder our progress and lead to dissatisfaction. But here's the good news. We can actively choose our habits. We can cultivate good ones and discard the bad. In doing so, we become the master of our destiny, controlling the factors that influence our lives. It's time to understand that habits, whether good or bad, are the invisible architects of our lives. Ever wondered what makes a habit stick? Let's dive into the anatomy of a habit. A habit is like a loop, a cycle that is composed of three integral parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. First, we have the cue. Think of this as a trigger or a signpost that tells your brain to initiate a certain behavior. This could be anything from a time of day to a location or even a certain emotion. Next comes the routine. This is the behavior itself, the action that you perform in response to the cue. It's what we commonly consider to be the habit. Lastly, we have the reward. This is the positive reinforcement that your brain receives after performing the routine. It's what makes the habit worth repeating. Understanding these components can help you dissect any habit. Remember, understanding the habit loop is the first step towards creating and maintaining habits that enrich your life. Now that we understand the habit loop, how can you use this knowledge to create a new habit? Let's walk through the steps. First, identify a clear cue. This is a trigger that will set off your habit. It could be a specific time of the day, an event, or even a feeling. For instance, if you want to start a habit of reading every day, your cue could be finishing dinner. Next, choose a routine. This is what you'll do once the cue happens. In our reading example, the routine is simply picking up the book and reading. Be sure to choose a routine that is manageable and enjoyable. The third step is to define a satisfying reward. This is what you get after doing the routine. It could be the sense of accomplishment you feel after finishing a chapter, or a small treat you've promised yourself. The reward must be instant and gratifying to make the habit stick. Now here's where the real work comes in. Consistency and patience are key. You need to consistently follow your cue, routine, reward sequence and be patient with yourself. It takes time to form a new habit. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate changes or if you miss a day or two. Just get back on track and keep going. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress. Your brain needs time to adjust and create new neural pathways. Creating a new habit is not a one-time event, but a process that requires consistent effort and patience. Creating a new habit is one thing, but how do you make sure it sticks for the long term? Well, it's a blend of art and science, strategy and resilience. Let's get into it. Firstly, tracking progress is crucial. It's like a mirror for your efforts, showing you where you're succeeding and where you might need to put in a little more work. It's not about being perfect, but about seeing your journey. You could use a journal, an app, or even a good old-fashioned calendar. Just find a way that works for you. Next, set realistic goals. It's great to aim high, but it's also important not to set yourself up for disappointment. Be kind to yourself. Small steps can lead to big changes over time. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. And when setbacks happen, because they will, view them positively. They're not failures, they're opportunities to learn and grow. Each misstep is a chance to understand what's working and what's not, and to adjust your approach accordingly. Lastly, remember that maintaining habits requires continual review and adjustment. As your life changes, so too should your habits. Whether it's a new job, a new city, or a new stage of life, these changes are an opportunity to reevaluate your habits and make sure they're still serving you. Remember, the key to maintaining habits is flexibility and resilience. Always be ready to adjust your habits to better serve your evolving goals and lifestyle. So, are you ready to reshape your life with the power of habits? Let's recap. Habits have a profound impact on our lives, shaping our actions and ultimately our destiny. They're comprised of a cue, routine, and reward cycle, and creating a new habit revolves around manipulating this cycle. Maintaining habits, however, requires commitment, patience, and strategic planning. With patience, consistency, and the right strategies, you can create and maintain habits that enrich your life. The power is in your hands.